Hey everyone, thanks so much for checking out the channel. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit subscribe. That's the big red button down below. And if you are returning, which I know a lot of you are, but most of you aren't subscribed because something like 68% of you who watch these videos haven't subscribed to the channel. So, did I mention hit that subscribe button? And if you are watching this again and you're already subscribed, make sure you smash that thumbs button. Today's video is great. This is actually a follow-up from my last video talking about why I quit my job, and the title of it is Becoming is Better Than Being. Okay, so becoming is better than being. What do I mean about that? For us tech people in the church specifically, I know that I deal with a lot of churches in my job of integrating technology for the church. And what I've found is that most churches obviously don't have full-time staff members or part-time staff members in the technology side of things. They usually are run by mostly volunteers. And I have a lot of those churches that will keep my mix, and they'll keep that for a long period of time, and rightfully so in some cases. But what I want to talk about is the volunteer that I know can do more than they actually are doing, but are either afraid or not empowered by their leader, such as the worship pastor or the senior pastor, whoever that may be. Hopefully this is just encouraging. That's the main point of these videos. So before I go any further, comment down below. Let me know if you're being encouraged and how I can be encouraging you. If there's something that I can be doing by creating a video or reaching out to you guys to help you and help encourage you, I would love to know that. So make sure you comment down below or shoot me an email at justin@emtmi.com so that I can connect with you. So I like using scripture where it's possible. And Isaiah 41 is a really common scripture that has been used to embolden people and to encourage them and to make them be brave. And I think that that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here. In my last video, I talked about doing what God told you to do, and that delayed obedience is disobedience. Well, now the next step of that, when you are being obedient, is to become something and to constantly continue to become something. So Isaiah 41 verse 9 starts off where it says, "I have called you back from the ends of the earth, saying, you are my servant. For I have chosen you and will not throw you away. Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. See, all of your angry enemies lie there, confused and humiliated. Anyone who opposes you will die and come to nothing. You will look in vain for those who have tried to conquer you, for those who attack you will come to nothing. For I hold you by your right hand, I, the Lord your God, and I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you." I think that that's obviously a lot more bold than a lot of people's issues, but I will say that I have seen a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of clashes. There's a lot of people that don't want to do more tech things, or they do want to keep you down for some reason, and I don't know what those reasons are, and I know that a lot of you deal with this, and I wanted to give you guys encouragement that if this is what God is calling you to do, this is what God is telling you to do. Oh my gosh, I just did the Pastor Dwayne fist thing during speaking. It's funny how your brain just kind of does things that it's captured. Back on what I was saying is that if this is what God is calling you to do, then you need to and you're deciding to be brave and go and do what God tells you to do. Then this scripture is here to embolden you. Know that when you do what God tells you to do, that you're going to have the backing of Him. He's going to help you. He's going to embolden you. The next part of this is also we want to become something, not just be something. I think that if you're not moving forward and not learning something, then you're moving backwards. What I've seen from a lot of these guys, including family members, my dad made a comment to me about how when he was younger, he used to be super techie, and now that he's older, he is not a techie at all, and it's all so confusing to him, and it feels like it's just a million miles over his head. I said it's because he stopped trying and he stopped pushing himself further forward. And it was because technology for him in his daily life wasn't a big deal. And so it just kind of faded off. And then technology became another huge part of everyday life with phones, smart speakers, computers, those kind of things. I had an old colleague that had a problem trying, he was just not willing to try and get the software to work. He didn't like to push himself and just take a few minutes to learn something. He just wanted me to do it for him. And I kind of called him out on it, and I was like, you're being kind of like my dad, because my dad stopped trying, and because he stopped trying, he didn't move forward. And I was like, you're not even trying. Like, you looked at the software and went, I can't do it, and you moved on. And I think it's really important that we don't do that. I think that taking courses, like, audio is not something that all of us have grown up doing. There's not tons of schooling for it. There's not a ton of opening for a lot of people, and a lot of people in our ministry just kind of get thrust into it. So I think that what I'm trying to say here is that if you are running sound or doing video, like, make sure you're pushing yourself forward. Make sure you're experimenting with things. Adam Savage from Mythbusters, I've heard him say this and speak on this, is that failure is always an option. Most of us are so afraid of failure that it holds us in fear of that failure. And when we are becoming something, we're going to fail. I think of my children riding their bikes, and when they're they're learning to ride their bikes, that they fall over, and I have to encourage them to get back up, brush themselves off, get back on the bike, and keep going. That's what I think needs to happen here. Learn how to use the compressor, but you don't know how to use the compressor, so start playing with it. That's super important. When you're doing video stuff, experiment on, how am I going to light this? How am I going to edit this? Am I going to push in? Am I going to pull out? Am I going to cut to a secondary camera? Like, experiment. Do it. If you don't like it, then you learn that you don't like that and don't do it again. It's super important for us to do that. And when we're becoming something, we're going to fail. We're going to make mistakes. But be brave and know that God's there holding your hand, and the people that are against you telling you that you can't do it, or that you shouldn't do it, or that it's stupid, or it looks bad, when you know that it's none of those things, make sure you remember that this is what God called you to do. We're going to make mistakes, and we can make it through because it's what God's going to do with what we're going to do in the end. That's the big point. So becoming is better than being. You could be a subpar, okay, I can do this, audio engineer, video person, graphic designer, but if you get online and find YouTube videos, take courses like MixU, just find classes online, Skillshare, there's so many things that you can do to be able to learn new skills and learn how to better yourself is so important. You need to do that. If you look at my videos from video number 1 to the video that you're watching right now, you can see that I changed the orientation, how I'm lighting things, how, the colorization of things. Like, I've been changing those things because I want to become something better and better with every step. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly watching videos on YouTube about how to be a better YouTuber, how to create content better, how to edit content better. You'll see that I'm changing and I'm making mistakes and I'm learning from them, but I'm becoming something. I'm not just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So, want to make sure that I'm as encouraging you guys. Please, please, please comment down below, hit subscribe, the share button. Let me know if this was encouraging or not. If there's someone else out there that has an encouraging word, comment that down below. I would love to hear the conversations about how you are encouraged. If you have questions or want some direction to some good video content about how to do some of these different things I talked about, I will do my best to share those with you. And again, make sure you subscribe, because that's what this is all about, right? No, it's not, but it does help. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you later.